Hello friends, I welcome you all to Coders Companion and today we are going to cover important interview questions on method overloading in Java. Please like, share and subscribe to support us. Today's first question is, what is method overloading? Method overloading is a feature of Java in which a class has more than one method of the same name and their parameters are different. In other words, we can say that a method overloading is a concept of Java in which we can create multiple methods of the same name in the same class and all the methods work in different ways. When more than one method of the same name is created in a class, this type of method is called the overloaded method. So always remember that a class which has more than one method of the same name and their parameters are different, then we can say that it is a method overloading. The next question is, what are the things to consider while overloading the methods in Java? So basically, there are four parameters on which we can say that a method is overloaded. The first one is data type, then we have return type, then we have order of arguments, and then we have constructor. So let's talk about them one by one. According to the data type, the overload method can have different data type for argument. When talking about the return type can be changed, but either the number of argument or the data type of the argument should also be changed. In regards to order of arguments, if you change the sequence of arguments, then it is also a valid method overloading, provided you have different data type arguments and a constructor can also be overloaded. So this is one of the favorite interview question that is asked. So please consider this very important. Next, talking about the next question is, how do compiler differentiate the overloaded methods from the duplicate methods? So compiler uses method signature to check whether the method is overloaded or duplicated. The duplicated methods will have same method signatures, that is same name, same number of arguments and same type of arguments. The last one is overloaded methods will also have same name but differ in number of arguments or the else type of the arguments. Talking about the next question is, can we overload the main method? So the answer to this question is yes, we can overload the main method in Java just like any other method. So for the better understanding, I here have created one class which is method overloading main example, and here you can very well see that I have created two methods. The first one is public static void main with the arguments as the string, and the second one is with the argument as int. So this method is overloaded. So yes, we can overload the main method just like any other method. So when you have other methods named main in the same class with different parameter list. See here I have created two methods with different parameter list. They won't serve as the entry point for your Java application. Only the standard one, which is public static void main string arguments method, will be executed when you run the program. So in this example also, the method which is public static void main is executed, that is standard main method is displayed in the console. Then the next question is, can we overload the constructor? So the answer to this question is yes, you can overload the constructor. Since each constructor can have a different number or type of parameters which allows you to create the object in various ways depending on your requirement, so a constructor can be overloaded. A constructor overloading allows you to define multiple constructors for a class with different parameter list. So in this example, we have three different constructors for constructor overloading example class. A constructor with no parameters, which initializes the value field to 0. A constructor with one parameter, which allows you to specify an initial value for the value field. And the last one is a constructor with two parameters, which calculate the initial value for the value field as the sum of two provided values. See, here I have done value 1 plus value 2. So I have three constructors with one parameter, which is there when there is no parameter, with one parameter as value and with another parameter as value 1 and value 2. So you can create the object of the constructor overloading example class using one of these constructor depending on your needs. So here I have created the objects of the constructors that I have created, and then I have displayed the output. So here the output is 0, 10 and 12 as per the requirement, as per the values that I have set over there. The next question is, does the assess modifier affect the method overloading in Java? So the answer to this question is that no, assess modifiers do not affect the method overloading in Java. Method overloading is determined solely by the method signature, which includes the method name and the number or the type of its parameters. Assess modifiers such as public, private, protected, or package private default are not a part of the method signature and do not play a role in determining whether the methods are overloaded. So hence, assess modifiers does not affect the method overloading. So overloaded methods can have the same or the different assess levels. This is also one of the basic interview question asked so as to check the depth of the knowledge you have in method overloading. The next question is, can we declare an overloaded method as static and another one as non-static? So yes, we can declare an overloaded method as static and the another one is non-static. See, in this example, we have two overloaded methods. One is addition and the another one is static one. See, here the addition is a non-static method and the another one is a static method. They have different number of input parameters, so they are considered as overloaded. In the one which is a non-static method, I have created two parameters for that. One is number one and the another one is number two. But when we talk about the static method, then there are three parameters: number one, number two, and number three. Hence, these are considered as overloaded methods. And then in the another class, I have called them according to my need. So here I have called the addition test and called the same method with the values of 100 and 100 in one parameter in one method, and then 100 100 100 in another method, so that it gives me the output as 200 and 300. So it means that yes, we can declare an overloaded method as static and another one as non-static. So overloading is based on method name and the number or the type of its parameter. So hence these are overloaded methods. The next question is, can the overloaded methods be synchronized? Yes, overloaded methods can be synchronized in Java. Synchronization in Java is used to ensure that only one thread can access a synchronized block or method at a time, which helps to prevent the race condition and maintain the data consistency when multiple threads are involved. So here you can very well see that I have created an example where both my methods, where this one my method int param1 and the another method my method string param1 are synchronized, which means that only one thread can execute either of these methods at a time. The other overloaded methods without the synchronized keyword are not synchronized and can be executed concurrently by the multiple threads. Since I have made these methods as synchronized, so it means that they can be called only one at a time. So yes, we can overload the methods as synchronized in Java. This is one of the important interview question which can be asked, and these are also the tricky interview questions. The interviewers normally ask these questions to check the depth of the knowledge, so you can share these examples with them to have a better understanding for them. The next one is, can we declare the overloaded methods as final? So yes, you can declare the overloaded method as final in Java. Declaring a method as final means that it cannot be overridden by the subclasses. When you overload the method, you are defining multiple methods with the same name but different parameter list. So in this example, I am demonstrating the overloaded method when one of the method marked as final. So here you can see that I have marked my method as final and I have two methods. One is sum with the final keyword and the another one is sum which is non-final, and both the methods have different number of parameter types, so they are considered as overloaded method. In the method which is final, I have two parameters, num1 and num2, and the non-final method is having three parameters, num1, num2 and num3, and then I have called according to my requirement, and here I can see the output 200 and 300. Hence we can say that yes, we can declare the overloaded method as final in Java. The important next question is, can overloaded methods be overridden? So yes, we can override the overloaded method in Java. So in this case, I have a superclass which is base class and I have a subclass which is a derived class. So the base class defines two methods over here which are overloaded. See, one is this display and the another one is display. Now why are these two methods overloaded? Since the one method is having no parameter inside it and the another one is having one parameter inside it, which is a string. So these methods are overloaded. And now the derived class, this one, it extends the base class and overrides both of these display methods. See, here you can again see that there are two methods and they are overwriting it. So in total, so the behavior of the display method depends on the actual type of the object one refers to. See, here I have created object1.display. So what I am saying is that the behavior of the display method depends on the actual type of the object that object 1 refers to. So when it refers to a base object, it invokes the base class. See, it is invoking the base class over here. And when it refers to the derived object, it invokes the derived class methods. So this demonstrates the concept of method overwriting also. So where the method call depends on the runtime type of the object. So yes, we can overwrite the overloaded methods in Java. So the next question is, in method overloading visibility example, there is a method called my method. See, here I have defined four methods. My method, my method, my method and my method. All the four methods are overloaded because they have different type of the parameters inside them. So all the four different forms have different visibility. One is private, another is public, then we have protected, and another one is void, which is default. So is my method properly overloaded? So you have to say, if this question is asked, that yes, in Java, method overloading is determined solely by the method signature, which includes the method name and the number of type of its parameters. So visibility modifiers like private, protected, public, default do not factor into the method overloading. So remember that as long as the method names and parameter lists are different, the methods are considered to be overloaded. See, here they are overloaded regardless of the visibility modifiers. So like in this example, my method is overloaded with four different parameter types and different visibility modifiers, but it is still considered properly method overloading. So each of these overloaded methods can be called separately based on the arguments passed when invoking the method. The next question is, can we achieve method overloading by changing the return type? So no, you cannot achieve method overloading in Java by changing only the return type of the method. Method overloading is based on the method signature, which includes the method name and the number or the type of its parameters. The return type alone does not factor into the method overloading. So if you attempt to define two methods in the same class with the same name and same parameter list, but with different return type, the compiler will generate a compilation error because it considers that these methods are duplicated and not overloaded. So here I have created an example which is resulting in the compilation error. So in this code, both the methods have same name. See, do something and do something, and the same parameter list, that is int num. but they differ only in the return type. The first one is throwing the return type as int, and the another one is throwing the return type as double. So this is not allowed in Java, and the compiler will produce an error. So to achieve the method overloading, you need to vary the method's parameter list, but you should keep the return type the same or compatible, as it doesn't affect the method overloading. The next question is, which is one of the very important question that is asked, is that what is the difference between method overloading and method overriding? So here I have listed the difference between the method overloading and method overriding. So method overloading is known as the compile time polymorphism, whereas method overriding is known as the runtime polymorphism. So for overloading to come into picture, there must be at least two methods of the same name. But for overriding to work, we need to have at least one method with the same name in both the parent class as well as the child class. The methods must have different number of parameters in method overloading. If both the methods have the same number of parameters, then the type must be different. While in the case of method overriding, both the methods must have the same number of the parameters with the same type. So this is one of the very important question, that is the difference between the method overloading and method overriding. Now, so one of the important question regarding to the method overloading that is asked is, like, you have to predict the output of the program. The interviewers normally give a create an example of such type and ask that what can be the output of this program. So in the provided code, we have two overloaded methods, that is method test and method test, with different parameter types. One takes an object and the another one takes the string. So when you call this method, what is happening is that it is calling the null. So in the main method, it matches both of these overloaded methods because null is compatible with object also and null is also compatible with string. So, however, when Java encounters such a situation where both the methods are equally applicable, it gives the precedence to the more specific method. In this case, the method that takes a string is considered more specific than the method that takes the object. Therefore, the output of the program will, that is calling the string method, because it is compatible with both the string object and the object. So it gives the precedence to the more specific method. So the answer to this question would be calling the string method. See, when I have executed this program on my system, I could see that the answer was calling the string method. The next also is a kind of coding question that is asked, is that what will be the output of this program. So here I have created the methods of the same name, that is test method. You can see that here I have created multiple methods of this test method name, but they have the different parameter list. One is with long, int, integer, double and number. So what will be the output of this program? So it will print the output as int. This one, the test method which is having the int, because the preference hierarchy is that first comes int, then it gives the preference to long, then it gives the preference to double, and then it gives the preference to the integer wrapper class, and the last one it gives the preference to the number class. So in another words, if I remove, let's say if I remove the int parameter, let's say if I remove this line number 12 to 14, then the output will be long. If we remove with int and long parameter, then the output would be double, and so on. So when I try to execute this method on my system, I could see that the output was int. So this is also one of the interview question that is asked to check that how much knowledge you have in actual of the method overloading. So this so with this, we have come to an end of the session based on method overloading in Java. So I wish all the candidates a very good luck if you are participating in some interview for the role of Java framework developer. This will surely help you. So that's it from my end for this session. If you have any query related to the question that we have discussed here, Please feel free to add the same in the comment section below and we will reply to them at the earliest. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So that's it from my end. Thank you and happy learning.